Hello, and thanks for the opportunity to share with you a tool that will be very helpful in tracking your club's membership success in the coming year. Many of you know I've been mining membership data for about 8 years and have concluded that not only is attrition real, people leave membership organizations, but it's also highly predictive. Unlike your mutual fund, in the case of attrition, a club's past performance is an excellent indicator of future results. So what if you had a predictive tool that told you in October or December or February whether you're attracting enough new members while you still have time to catch up? That's what you want from your stockbroker. You want to know what stocks will go up, not what stocks did go up. Well, I'm happy to say that such a tool exists in the Membership Success Center. It's called the Progress Dashboard. Let's open the MSC and navigate to the Progress Dashboard page. That's right up here. The page opens to your club, and now what I'm going to do is show you how this played out last year in a couple of clubs. I think you'll realize that this is the only report you need to watch as far as membership success this year is concerned. Let's take a look at this club. They had an audacious goal of growing from 29 to 36 members. They were at 29 at the beginning of last year, and their membership goal was 36, or a net gain of 7. You'll notice their average annual attrition, very low for a club this size. But let's take a look. They've actually lost 4 members already at this point in the year as of January 1st, 2024. So rather than the new members needed count being the 7-member growth goal plus the average attrition of 3, we already know we've got to replace 4. So we do that math, and they actually need 11 new members in order to reach that plus 7 goal. And that's this ramp we call the pace to goal ramp. That's the pace at which a club would attract members progressively month to month. The gold line is the target that ramps up from 0 on July 1st to 11 on June 1st, leaving the rest of the month of June for a little bit of course correction. And then you can see the blue bars. The blue bars are the cumulative number of members they've attracted over the course of the year, and you can see where they are as of January 1. Now I wanted to point out, there's an icon up here in the corner, a couple little arrows opposing each other. In most applications, that means if you click on this, something is going to happen. And what happens is you get a nice printable graph of that same pace to goal ramp. That's the graph I recommend that you print and share with your members each month. You recognize that this club is right on pace. They need 11 new members, and this is an 11-month window, so they needed 6 by January 1st, and they're right at 6. I want to mention something else about this application. Anywhere you see a little circle with a question mark in it, we call that a tooltip. And when you just mouse over those, it pops up a little explanation prompt. If you ever have a question of what does this number mean, just mouse over the tooltip. In this case, it describes the pace to goal ramp. This line represents a steady month-to-month pace of new member additions to reach your membership goal for the year. Try to meet or exceed the goal line each month with your pace of attracting new members. So we'll close that and fast forward to the end of the year. How did this club finish? Well, their progress dashboard served them really well. They stuck to their goal of growing by 7 members, although they took a couple more terminations than they would have expected. That meant they needed 13 members, and the pace to goal ramp adjusted accordingly. They realized in March that they needed to pick up the pace, and they did, finishing by adding 5 more new members in the month of June for a total of 17 new members and a net gain of 11. Wow. Now what I want to show you is a different club. This is another club in my district. We're again at January 1st of last year. This club at the time had 3 new members. They'd taken only 1 termination, meaning that they were ahead by +2. Which brings up probably the most misleading piece of data in all of Rotary, which is the year-to-date membership gain. Year-to-date net gain is a number I'd encourage you to stop paying attention to. I'll say that again. Stop paying attention to year-to-date net gain because it's misleading. In this particular case, it's January. This club is probably basking in the glow of this net gain of +2, forgetting completely that on average they lose 9 members a year, of which they've only lost 1 so far. So there are 8 more members likely to leave this club in the back half of this year who just haven't told us who they are yet. Now, this is a very steep pace to goal ramp, and that's self-inflicted by an audacious goal of growing from 46 to 54 members, a net gain of 8. So they need a total of 17 members, and that's shown on the pace to goal ramp. Let's take a look at the explosion. They're at mid-year. The pace to get where they say they want to be would be 9. They've actually only got 3 members, but this shortfall didn't happen overnight. It was completely predictable months before, in September, October, November, and December. It was clear that they weren't anywhere near the pace that they needed to be on in terms of attracting new members. This is highly predictive. You can predict your future membership success by looking at this ramp. So how did all that work out? Let's take a look at their pace to goal graph at the end of the year, July 1st. First, they realized that their growth goal of 8 was completely out of reach, and they moderated that goal to 3. And they realized they were still behind the pace needed to get to that goal. Then the predictive nature of historical attrition caught up with them. And by the end of the year, they had terminated not 9, but 10 members, putting the net growth goal of 3 further out of reach. Now, this was again completely predictable far earlier in the year. They simply didn't get started, and they couldn't catch up with the number of new members they needed. They attracted some new members, but not enough, and too late. All of that was predictable in September. They ended the year with a net loss of 1. So here are some key takeaways. First, attrition's real. Past attrition history is highly predictive. Attrition can be reduced, but not eliminated. So you want to start attracting new members in July before you see resignations, and ignore year-to-date net gain. It's a meaningless and misleading statistic. It ignores attrition that hasn't happened yet. Focus on the new member pace to goal ramp in the progress dashboard. Thanks for watching.